Over a year ago, my husband and I decided that we needed to take drastic measures to improve this 1990s kitchen. The only problem is that we couldn't afford to hire out all the work and we don't have any contracting experience. This might be a bigger problem than I thought. No one could have prepared me for this. But we knew that we could turn our dreams for this space into reality, one DIY project at a time. In this video, we will finally be finishing up the rest of the tasks left on our list and decorating the kitchen to give it the cozy comfort feeling that we're desperately needing in this space. Hello guys, good morning. It is a new work week here in the kitchen. And today I am going to be trying to get this tile off of the wall. Just the first row. You guys saw in the last video that I attempted to get it off and I couldn't for the life of me. So here is attempt number 2. Let's see how it goes. I have no clue. I'm a little nervous because I don't want to make a bigger mess than necessary. And I really just want to get it off like cleanly, like clean off the wall. I want to get it clean off the wall. Is that? I don't know. Anyways, hopefully we're able to get it tiled today. I want to get it tiled all the way up here, which is where the vent hood is gonna stop. And I just want a clean line. I don't want to be able to see like wall and then tile, and it just, I don't know. Anyways, guys, let's get started. I just need to move the stove out the way. This is gonna be different because I've never moved this stove. And I'm sure it's a lot heavier. Oh, I might not be moving the stove out the way, actually. I'm not moving the stove out the way. There's no way. Since I wasn't able to successfully remove the stove, I covered it with some plastic bags and pieces of cardboard to protect it from the tile that I was going to be removing from the wall. I think we're safe now. I already have this bit on. It's called a rigid scraper and it's supposed to scrape away at the mortar. So let's see if it works. It looks like it's actually coming off. This is going to be very interesting. Oh gosh, I'm scared. Okay, it's coming out. I hear paper ripping, which tells me it's taking the drywall off. Oh. No, that's not what I wanted. That's not good. This might turn into a longer process than I initially thought it would. I'm not thrilled about this, like at all, guys. This might be a bigger problem than I thought. I kind of want to cry. I feel like I say this every episode. Look at that. This is the wallboard. I'm low-key freaking out. That first tile is not looking very promising. Maybe if I keep pushing through, it won't be so bad with the next tiles. So let's just keep going. It sounds like the wall. Okay. That's the wall. Oh my gosh, that's the wall. I kind of just want to move on to something else now, but we're here, so what do I do, you know? I'm just gonna keep going for it. At this point, there is no turning back. What? Oh my gosh, it just like flew off. Are you watching me? Is there something that you want to say?
Look like you making progress.
Progress? Is this what you call progress?
Looks like you're getting somewhere for sure.
And this is me.
Getting somewhere?
Yeah, you got 2 tiles off. You got some black spots on the other pieces. No, you know what? You're doing a really good job, though. So
you're not helping.
Wait, no. Like, real question.
I want to cry inside, but I'm trying my best to just keep it together. I really am.
I got a real question for you, though.
What?
How much tiles do you intend to actually take off?
How many?
Yeah, how many tiles do you intend
The
to
first row. Like 15 tiles total, give or take. Maybe 14. I don't know. I might finesse that one. Yeah.
Well, you're doing a good job. You got 2 down. How about this? Do you need help?
Oh, yeah. You have a contractor for me to do this so I don't have to? That'd be wonderful. I'm over it. I'm literally like... You just walked away? That's crazy. Don't come here showing off now.
I don't know, bro. I'm going to
what?
go get some fresh air real quick.
You know, I know that this is part of the DIY experience, but like, no one could have prepared me for this. At this point, as much as I was feeling overwhelmed, I decided to put my headphones on, get some music going, and just get into the zone so that I could finally get this done. While it may seem like I should have just given up at this point, I reminded myself that every problem has a solution and I am a problem solver. So it was time to get back to work and remain focused. I really thought that with using this multi-tool, I would be able to get all of the tiles removed from the wall without damaging any of the drywall, and that I wouldn't be left with such a big problem on my hands. Before I knew it, I was able to get the row of tiles removed. The only issue is it left a way bigger mess than I anticipated, and I was starting to feel like I was way in over my head. I truly don't think that you guys are really ready to see the mess that's behind me. I got it done, but now there's a whole lot of work to do. After removing the tiles from the wall, I did a quick cleanup of the stove before moving on to my next task. So I'm back here over by the open shelves that I've been avoiding. I know you guys are probably like, what is taking this girl so long? They're just shelves. Like, she should have finished it by now. And trust me, I know. But I've just been like avoiding it and doing everything else in the kitchen but these shelves. But I bought some 1x3s. These are 2x3s that I have that I use for the actual like brace of the shelf. The thing is, I forgot to account for the front support part of the shelf. I was just thinking, oh, I'll cut the plywood down into like a front strip piece, but it's not going to be thick enough to actually like hold, you know? So I decided to create a front piece here so that the plywood is able to be attached to the front piece. This is like called, I think it's called like furring or fur strip or something like that. And if you can see, it has a lot of these like divots and imperfections in the wood, but I got it anyways because I'm like, you know what, this is not really for the actual support to support any weight. It's simply just to give it a little more structure in the front. I'm gonna go ahead and install that. In order to install these furring strips to my pre-existing shelf braces, I used some construction screws that I already had from this shelf project, and I secured them to the braces for better support of my plywood pieces. And of course, I used my level to make sure that everything was nice and straight. Next up. I'm gonna pre-drill a little bit in here. Since this is so much higher, it's gonna be hard for me to hold it up while trying to get the screw in place. This was a really simple step that definitely made a difference in the overall outcome of the shelves. I'm very happy that I realized that I needed to do this. That was a little aggressive, just a little bit. This looks way more like a shelf now. They're super sturdy, which is like super cool that I built this, you know? Before I cut down more plywood and fit it and make sure everything's good and then stain it and whatnot. I do need to cut back at this trim one more time, guys. Let me show you. I had already cut back at this trim to fit my 1/4 inch plywood, and you can see where I drew the line to cut it, but I don't know why I didn't cut it exactly at the line, and I thought it would be fine, but it's not. It doesn't go all the way under, so there's gonna be like a big gap here, which we don't want that. So yeah, we do need to trim away at that piece of trim. And hi guys, it's the next day, and today is one of those days where I truly only have energy for so much. So the only thing that I really have in me right now is to trim back the piece of trim on this cabinet that I had told you guys about, so that I can fit my plywood piece on the top and get it flush to the cabinet. And of course I'm like damaging the wall. That's so much fun. I guess I'll have to repair that anyways. So I have this piece of plywood here that I'm going to use for the bottom, because it's not perfect, but I can definitely use it for the bottom piece. So what I'm going to do is lay it how I want it to sit under here, and then I'm going to trace it on the top. Okay, so hi guys, it's the next day, and I'm going to be cutting down those pieces of plywood so that I can apply them to my shelves. We're going to get started with this. Oh, this is kind of nerve-wracking because I need this cut to be like extremely accurate. Since this was a bit of an overwhelming task for me, I decided that the best thing for me to do was to work on one shelf at a time and only do the cuts for my bottom shelf first before I moved on to the next one. Okay, I have my cuts here for the shelves. I'm going to dry fit them, and then if everything works out well, then I know that I can move on to the rest of my plywood cuts for my top piece of the shelf. Also, wood filler is going to be my friend, hopefully. It's to go like this. Oh, it actually fits really flush though. That's awesome. I'm excited about that. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and nail this side piece in. Okay, this may be a little excessive and crazy, and I know I really don't have to do it this way, but I'm gonna lift up this huge piece of plywood on top of the shelves, trace it so that it's like completely flush, and then cut it down. And I think I'm gonna enlist the help of hubby to get this done. Okay. He's taking too long. Let's see if I can do this without him. I may end up looking like an idiot right now. This is actually insane, I will admit. This is not gonna work because I have the trim around the doorway preventing me from being able to put it flush against the wall, and I have this little lip on the front of the cabinet. So I do indeed need to cut it down. Let me just get my, that looks good. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna go rip this down outside and then get to this. Okay, so we have two tops here, we have a bottom piece, and then I need to fit my two front pieces. Hoping I have enough. I should. I'm trying to get it where I'm not hitting this area here where there's a lot of like damage to the plywood. I mitered my both side, the side and the top of this face frame, I guess part you can say. So I'm going to nail it in. My only hesitation is that on this side it looks a little taller, but I think I'm going to be able to sort that out because it's flush if I just push it against the cabinet, and then it looks really great. At this point, my design assistant felt that she needed to guide me through this part of the process.
Tight.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, no, the tile is like tight with this to put it right here, to put the side to right here, and then put it right here to the side, and then put it to the window right here to put it. And then you have to put it like this. See? You see, Mommy? Look. Put it like that and then put it on the cabinets right here. Put a little curtain there and then put it right
here. Okay guys, I have this piece of plywood for the top part of my bottom shelf. I mitered both this side and this side here. And so that way everything is flush and you won't see like the seams from the top or the sides. This took me, guys, I'm not even kidding, like 3 hours just to get all the cuts for one shelf done of my plywood pieces, because I've been like trying to get it as flush as possible. The problem is some of my cuts are a little uneven because I like wasn't able to get something super straight on the table saw. But I'm thinking like once I wood fill it, it should be fine, I think. So finish my bottom shelf. I have the piece for my top shelf here. I have the top and bottom. I think I want this one to be the top, like this grain to be the top of my shelf and this grain to be the bottom, but I'm not sure yet. I feel like I like the top grain better. The wall. I cut down my pieces for the top and bottom. I did cut it a little bit too short on the side, but once I put my like side pieces up, it'll be fine anyways. So I'm just gonna go ahead and nail that in. Okay. That's super loud. I need earplugs. Did I run out of nails? Oh, that's annoying. Okay, bottom is installed. Those mitered cuts were really getting to me, so I'm like, you know what, it's the top shelf, no one's gonna see it, it's okay. I was literally just being a perfectionist because the tutorials that I've seen, they didn't miter them when it was like this 1/4 inch plywood. They just use like that face frame piece to hide the seams, and even though you'd have like a little, like you would be able to see this unfinished edge on the top, they just like still stained it like that. Me personally, I don't like that look, but it's okay because I got a more seamless look on the bottom shelf, which is way more visible when you're standing like at eye level, whereas this one you literally have to come up here to see the top. So it'll be fine. From the front and the side you won't even see a seam at all. So that's really what I was mostly concerned about. So what I'm gonna do is nail it in place, and then I can do my side pieces and I'll be done for the day. Did that come out? Oh, is the battery dying or something? It's jammed. Just when I'm like about to be finished. This is so frustrating. Now I have to figure out how to, ow. It jammed my nail gun, okay? I jammed the nail gun. How to unjam a Bauer 18 gauge brad nailer. I might have to link this. Of course you do. Came right up. Okay, back to work. Come on. There we go. Once I got my nail gun unjammed, it was smooth sailing from there, and I was able to finish the install of the plywood pieces for the top shelf. My eardrum. That's all she wrote, folks. Guys, the open shelving is done. It's installed. I still have to stain and seal it, but it's all installed. It's not perfect. This is my very first time doing this. It's all good though. Nothing a little wood filler can't fix, hopefully. I'm gonna tape off the walls and the cabinet so that I can stain everything. I also need to wood fill, sand, all that good stuff. Not really looking forward to that, but it's kind of part of the process. But I'm pretty sure once I wood fill and everything, it'll come together really nicely. And then once I finish the shelving, we have to address the vent hood wall tile situation. Good morning, guys. It is the next day. It's like 2 days later, actually. We're back in the kitchen. We're gonna be finishing up these shelves. What we're gonna do today is wood fill all of the seams and the nail holes. Let's get into it. Okay, so I got the shelves all taped up. What I'm gonna do now is just sand the edges to see like how much I really need to wood fill and go from there. I used a sanding block that I purchased off Amazon to give the shelves a once over and prepare them to be able to accept the wood stain. This was really important for a very even application. So I just finished sanding everything smooth. I covered my countertop with a plastic bag, and now what I'm gonna do is wood fill all of the seams and nail holes, and then I can get to staining. So I'm gonna be using plastic wood. I was a little worried when I first finished installing these shelves because I wasn't sure how well the wood filler was going to work to cover up the imperfection. But I made sure to thoroughly read through the instructions before filling in the seams, and I definitely got the hang of how to use the wood filler properly. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be all crumbly like mine was, but I got it to work for my needs and everything came together just fine. Good morning, guys. It is another day, and as you can see behind me, I finished installing our open shelving. Everything looks great. I wood filled. I do see where I might need to go back in with a little more wood filler just to get everything nice and even. So I'm going to do that, but another thing I'm going to do is test out my stain colors. I have here these two colors, Early American, and I also have Fruitwood by Minwax. Let's get to it. Before I could start applying my stain to my shelves, it was important for me to sand back any excess wood filler so that everything was nice and smooth. I will say hand sanding is always a workout, and this was no exception to the rule. My back, help me Lord. One thing that is always helpful for me in my DIY journey is to use scraps to test things out whenever I can. This always helps me to avoid making mistakes that I might have had to put more effort into fixing that I'd like to. And in this case, it was very helpful in doing that. Oh, it's rock solid. Oh wait, there's stain in there though. I'll still see if I can use it. Absolutely hate the smell. Wait, what? I might need to mix that some more because what in the world? That was not supposed to happen. Do you guys see that? It's like red. Good morning, guys. So as you can see here, I have my stain samples up. This is the color Early American. And I already like this color. I bought it for a previous project. I'm just trying to debate between this darker sample and the lighter one. They're both the same color, but I used a heavier hand when applying the top color. And then this one here, I just like lightly stained it. And so I got some feedback from my husband and my sister, and they both think that I should go with this lighter color, but I'm just not 100% certain. So what I'm going to do is, since this is the same color, I'm going to stain it with a lighter hand, let it dry, see how I like it, and if I want it to be a little bit darker, then I'll just go ahead and layer it up with another coat. I have my little apron here that I'm going to use. After the horrible stain job that I experienced in the past with the kitchen window trim, I knew that using a pre-stain to condition the plywood before staining was very necessary. And it made me more confident when it was time to actually apply the stain to the shelves. Okay, So I just finished putting the pre-stained wood conditioner on my shelves. I'm gonna just get started with the wood stain. I'm gonna start with the bottom shelf because I'm timing it. It says wait 5 to 15 minutes, wipe off, and then you can apply your stain within 2 hours. So I'm gonna just lightly wipe off the conditioner off of the bottom shelf, then I'll do the top shelf, and then I can start my actual staining. To apply my wood stain to the shelves, I followed the same steps as with the pre-stain. I used a chip brush and a paper towel to apply the stain and wipe it gently into the surface, going with the direction of the wood grain. I thought I loved how the shelves were looking before, but after getting the stain on, I realized this color was the perfect touch. So what do you guys think? I finished staining the shelves. I think I'm gonna keep it this color. I originally wanted to do like a dark walnut because I do love like the deep rich brown colors, but I think I'm gonna settle on this for now. I could always stain it a little darker in the future, but I think I'm gonna sit with this for now because this is the stain that I already have and I think it looks good. Good morning, guys. It is the next day and I got my open shelves stained. They're fully dry. They look really good. I'm just gonna go ahead and use this wipe on poly, and it's a nice clear satin coat that is going to protect the surface of my shelves. It says it's easy to apply and fast drying, so I'm gonna shake it up. Got it. Once the wood stain had dried and cured overnight, I followed up with this wipe on poly top coat, and it gave these shelves just the right sheen that I needed. My design assistant was starting to question my efforts at this point, and I was a little confused.
Mommy,
Yeah?
what are you doing?
I'm putting a top coat on this.
Oh Lord.
What? Okay guys, so I put the first coat of my poly on my shelves and now I'm gonna let it dry for 2 to 3 hours. I'm really excited because the shelves are done, guys. Like, they're done. It only took me like 4 videos, I mean. So I went to Home Depot and Lowe's. Lowe's didn't have what I needed, so I had to go to Home Depot after, and I got some Easy Sand 45. I originally wanted to get Easy Sand 20, but they were all out. It was literally none left. So I picked up a bag of Easy Sand 45. I initially thought I was gonna have to rip out the drywall and redo the drywall and all that, and that's why I was freaking out a lot. But as I did more research, I realized that I can actually just use the Easy Sand and fill everything, and it will harden really well. And so I should be fine. I just need to clean up some of these areas first before I do that. I'm gonna use the joint compound, mix it up, and get to work. In order to prep the walls for the mud mixture, I peeled back some of those torn drywall areas and tried to get as much of the crumbled drywall out as I could. Is there like a special way to open this? To mix the hot mud, I just needed to add some lukewarm water and mix it until I got the consistency that I was looking for. Once I got the hot mud all mixed up and ready to go, it was time to apply it to the area. So I used a small drywall knife to apply it and build up the damaged drywall. This was much like icing a cake and was a pretty straightforward process for me. I was so relieved that I didn't actually need to remove the drywall and replace it, because it would have been pretty difficult due to the shape of these pre-existing tiles. Okay guys, so I finished building up that where the torn drywall was with the Easy 45. I'm actually glad that I got the Easy 45 and not the Easy 20, because it actually worked out. Like, I think I would have needed more than 20 minutes because it did take me about 30 minutes or so. It's hardening now, it's getting a little hard, so I'm really happy. It looks so much better than it did before. Obviously, it looks really good. Good morning, guys. It is another day. It's gotten plenty of time to dry and cure. Now what I'm gonna do is prime it, so that way it is ready for me to go ahead and tile. Once the mud had time to dry and cure, I needed to prime over it so that the area where I added the mud would more readily accept the mortar and allow the tiles to properly adhere to the wall surface. This would help prevent the tiles from falling off the wall in the future. Good morning, guys. It is another day, and today is finally the day that I get to finish the tile above the stove, get this all completed. Okay, maybe partial because I can't grout today, but my plan today is to get the tile up. So I have my Acryl Pro professional tile adhesive. This is what I use for the backsplash. And I really love this stuff, especially because it comes in a tub that you can just close up and save for later if you're not able to finish everything in one day, or if you want to use it again in the future, you can. It comes perfectly mixed already. If you guys have been watching my videos for a while now, you would have seen me tile other areas of this kitchen before, and since I've had a lot of practice with tiling at this point, this step was a walk in the park for me. I was able to get the remaining of this backsplash up in no time. Crazy to think about just how much I've added to my skill set just from doing this kitchen reno, and I'm really looking forward to all the other skills that I'll be gaining as I continue to do more DIY projects in and around my house. For those of you that are still hanging on tight and still watching this video, I wanted to fill you in on what to expect on my channel moving forward. This being the finale of my kitchen reno, I have some other projects that I've done over the past few months that I've had recorded and just waiting to be edited and posted, and so with that comes a garage makeover that I did for my mom. And following that, I'll actually be starting my entryway makeover, which you all who participate in my community tab, you voted that you wanted to see the entryway makeover next, so that's what I'm going to be working on, and I'm really excited for you all to see it. I have this one tiny sliver left to install. Good morning, guys. It is the next day. We got the tile on the wall, so today is the day that we finally grout it. I first need to get all of the tile spacers down, and then I'm going to wipe down the surface of the tiles with a wet sponge just to get all of the excess adhesive off of the surface of the tiles, and then I can go ahead and get to grouting. Once my tile adhesive was dry, I removed all of the tile spacers from the grout lines and then cleaned the surface of my tiles with some clean water and a sponge and got to scrubbing away all of the excess adhesive from the surface of my tiles. Once I got all of the excess adhesive off of the tile surfaces, I wiped everything dry with a paper towel, and then I got to grouting all of my grout lines. And this is a pretty quick process, but it's always such an arm workout for me, even for such a small area like this. My arms were getting really tired and I was glad to get it done very quickly. I found a really good deal on a stainless steel vent hood that was just what I was looking for, so a few weeks prior to this we headed to Lowe's to pick it up. And I had a little incident where I dropped a very thick glass bowl on my foot and I was left being in a boot for a week or two.
Come to Lowe's often?
I come to Lowe's too often, if anything. After finding the vent hood that we came for, my design assistant decided that she needs to do a quality control check and make sure that this was the right fit for our home before we could load it up and head back. Hi guys! It's another day! Did you hear that? That was my daughter in the back. Anyways, good morning guys. It's another day. As you can see here, it is vent hood install day. Finally, it has taken way too long, longer than I would like to admit, but we're finally here and I have hubby here to assist me and we're matching. Okay, anyways, we are going to install the vent hood. It says that it's an easy install, so let's see how easy it really is. We are doing a ductless installation, and so we had to go ahead and purchase the charcoal filters.
I think that made sense.
Doesn't make any sense actually.
I think that made... Thank you.
Installing the vent hood definitely called for a team effort, so hubby was sure to jump in and help with this stuff. I know it shouldn't be that hard, and since the bottoms of our cabinets were recessed, we needed to add some pieces of wood as spacers or shims to help better support the weight of the vent hood. Look at this. And because the bottom of our cabinets are made of particle board pieces that have been in the home since the 90s, they weren't in the best shape. Let's just say these spacer pieces really came in handy in giving the cabinets a little more support. Installing the vent hood did take us a bit longer than we expected and was a little more frustrating than we anticipated. But eventually we pulled it off and got the job done. Not without challenges, of course. What? Why is this happening? Don't do this at home. I'm just being lazy.
The irony in that.
I'm at home, but don't do this at your home, okay? Should I do it to like this one?
Level it out.
I will say I couldn't have installed this vent hood without hubby. We definitely make a great team. After getting the cabinets to be more structurally sound, it was time to actually hang the vent hood, and what we thought would be the easiest part of this process ended up being the most dangerous part. You guys are going to see exactly what happened in a few clips. Oh my gosh, I thought it was off.
It is. First. As much as you can.
Okay, there we go.
It's good?
Now we just need to get on the screws. Oh my gosh, this is a hot mess.
Can you?
After all our hard work, the hardest part was over when it came to hanging up this vent hood. Okay. We finally got it up! Hubby took over and started hardwiring the vent hood so that we could get it up and running. And of course, when I decided to step in and try to lend a hand, I ended up hurting myself in the end. Oh, did I slice myself? Yeah, I did. Okay. Ow! Ah! Here, just hold it. Oh, that's a really deep cut. Oh my gosh. Peachy.
Every old leaf is turning.
Can't even put my thumb up. Awkward.
Yeah, two
After
thumbs
finally
up.
getting the vent hood up and installed, we had to celebrate our win and hug it out. Okay. Once the vent hood installation was complete, the hard labor was over and it was finally time to style the kitchen and tie everything together. I personally like a mixture of old and new, and so many of these items were just that. Some were thrifted from estate sales and thrift stores, and others were brand new pieces that I sourced at a bargain. Regardless, I really tried to think through the mix of elements and materials in the space and incorporated them throughout different areas of the kitchen to really make everything feel cohesive and thought out. It's crazy to think that this is the same space. They say that the kitchen is the heart of the home, and we have poured so much love into ours, and it definitely shows in the end result. Completing this kitchen reno has taught me so much about DIY, but also about myself, and I'm determined to keep learning and growing. With a lot of research, hard work, and determination, we were able to take this kitchen from dark and gloomy to a bright and cozy space that feels inviting and beautiful. If you've gotten this far in the video, I want to thank you so much. Your support means the world to me, and I can't wait for you all to see what else is in store for my channel. So thank you so much for watching, be blessed, and I'll see you in the next video.